It's a bright Tuesday afternoon here in the city of Lagos, Nigeria, and this is the arena. I'm Samson Olede. Promises to be another exciting edition of the show, even as we take you through the world of sports, from tennis to football, even here on the home front, talking about Nigerian football, the Under-20 Waffle Cup that is ongoing, not forgetting the CAF Champions League finally has a venue when it comes to its final, and it's a controversial one at that. Welcome to the show once again. I'm Samson Olede. Let's delve into the thick of things as quickly as we can, starting with sports business news. And the Denver Broncos have likely lost one of their billionaire bidders for the team, which is Todd Boehly. Boehly, an owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Lakers, and Sparks, heads the group set to take over Premier League side Chelsea Football Club for $5.22 billion, which is the most expensive team sale in history. The Broncos are expected to fetch more than $4 billion, and if Burnley purchased both teams, the total price tag would be more than double his estimated net worth of $4.5 billion, which is a stretch even for a billionaire. Burnley, however, has not officially dropped out of the bidding for the Broncos. Now, still talking sports business at this time in motorsports, Formula One won't come to Las Vegas for another year and a half, but parent company Liberty Media is already making a huge investment in the city. Liberty has agreed to buy 39 acres of land east of the Las Vegas Strip for $240 million. Now, the area will house the pit and paddock complex for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, which will run its inaugural race in November 2023. With Formula One's $5 million per year U.S. broadcast rights deal with ESPN ending in 2022, Liberty could seek for $75 million or more per year. And let's wrap up sports business news at this time with a bit from football. Now, the Asia-Pacific region, APAC, will see its sports revenues in TV and online grow 6% over the next 5 years to $8.9 billion, according to a study by consulting and research firm Media Partners Asia. The projected increase in compound annual growth rate from 2021 to 2026 comes after APAC sports media revenues shrunk by 15% in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Sports rights costs are set to grow 5.6% in 2022 to reach $6.5 billion at a CJR of 4% between 2021 and 2026 to reach $7.4 billion. Football leads sports rights spending in APAC, driven by England's Premier League. MPA notes that the value of rights for the Premier League for the 2022 to 2025 period has fallen by 25% to $1.4 billion due to a substantial deterioration in China. Now, excluding China, Premier League rights values for APAC grew by 10% to $1.2 billion, driven by increases in Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, and Thailand. The Italian Open, also known as the Rome Masters, is currently ongoing. It's ongoing, and we have the big guns, especially in the women's category, playing. But talking about another big gun in the women's category who won't be participating, it is Naomi Osaka. Yes, Naomi Osaka has withdrawn from the Italian Open, and this is as a result of the Achilles injury she's battling with at this time. She picked it up last time when she was in Madrid, participating in Madrid, and it's difficult for her to, recover on time for the Italian Open. It's also yet to be seen if she will be fit enough to participate at the French Open, which begins later this month on the 22nd of May precisely. That's when the French Open, the second Grand Slam of the year, would take place, and Naomi Osaka is a doubt for that at this point in time. We wish her speedy recovery. Remember, she couldn't participate last year, having also to withdraw from the French Open due to mental health issues. In fact, she took 2 breaks from tennis last year due to mental health issues. So, Osaka, all the best in terms of our recovery. Moving on to the men's category now, still talking about the Italian Open. You also have another player withdrawing, and that's the newest kid on the block, the best player when it comes to tennis this year. And that's talking about Carlos Alcaraz, the 19-year-old teenager who is blowing everyone apart. He picked up his second Masters title past week at Madrid, defeating Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, as well as Alexander Zverev in the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, respectively. This time around, he has withdrawn from the Italian Open due to a right ankle injury, and you should expect him to be back for the French Open just in time, which is starting in about 12 days. So let's see how Alcaraz is able to fare on the biggest stage of them all. But if there's anything we've seen from him, it is obvious that he's not big, or he's not scared rather, of the big stages. He has 4 titles this season. No player on the tour has won more titles than Carlos Alcaraz at this time. And it's now time to talk about the round leather game on the arena. It's the world of football, and definitely it's the opium of the society. I'm being joined now by Ojo Kayode, a sports analyst. Ojo, good afternoon. Thanks for coming around.
Good afternoon, Samson. Good afternoon, viewers. It's a pleasure to be here.
Here in Nigeria, there's somewhere called Maracana in Ajegunle. That's a place that those who are from that side, you know, Mushin, Ajegunle, Apapa, and the rest are very familiar with. In fact, it has produced several football exports. Probably the biggest of them all is a household name when it comes to Nigerian football, Odion Igalo. Yes, Odion Igalo, who has played for Watford, played for Manchester United, is a product of that, you know, stadium. Now, the Maracana Stadium in Ajegunle has taken a facelift as a result of Nathaniel Idowu Foundation, who have done remarkably well in terms of rebuilding the entire stadium. I can remember the former governor of Lagos being there a few years back and promised that they would remodel the place. And you need to see the pictures. It's astonishing. You have one standard pitch. You have about 8 10 aside. I said 10 aside, 7 aside. You have 8 aside as well. It is remarkable what we're seeing. There you have it on the screen. The teaming footballers from Ajegunle have it tough to play. Look at players playing side by side, and the work isn't done yet. It isn't completed. These are things we talk about. When we say government should get involved in football, it's about, you know, investing in infrastructure, providing the necessary facilities to grow the sport. This is an ideal thing here in Ajegunle, Lagos.
Very, very, very fantastic to see. And kudos to the Nathaniel Idowu Football Foundation for the great work they are doing with the support of the Lagos State Government, the Lagos FA, and the local...
Every other stakeholder, basically.
All stakeholders, basically. And this is what we help many talents that we have around Ajegunle, around that some parts, those environs around Ajegunle there. And it's going to be an eye-opener for all that states to at least look for a way to facilitate private investors to do this kind of a thing in their state. Now imagine if we have this kind of a thing in almost part of
every
part of Nigeria. What do you expect that CAF will be looking at us in if there's an issue for an emergency hosting of any competition? You see, it's easy for Nigeria to just, okay, let's talk about Nigeria, even for international, for FIFA competitions. So it is a good development that we are seeing, that we are witnessing here in Nigeria today, and we hope that this kind of culture will spread across the country.
Okay, talking about football investment, it's something we've clamored for. The government owning football clubs here in the domestic league, and then that's not what we want. What we want is the government should provide the necessary facilities and watch our football grow. We've had Odion Igalo come out from, you know, the Maracana Stadium when it was at its dilapidated state. How much more now that it's taken a facelift? Imagine the number of Odion Igalos we would have, not just for the Super Eagles, but other age-grade competitions we have, like your Flying Eagles under 20, your under 23 known as the Dream Team or the Olympic Team. Also, you know, not forgetting your Flying Eagles or Eaglets and all of that. So there's a whole lot, really. Let's just hope that, everyone makes good use of the facilities that have been provided at the Maracana Stadium. Still talking football, let's talk about CAF. Yes, the CAF Champions League is currently ongoing. First legs of semifinals have been played. You had Al Ahly winning by 4-0. You also had Wydad AC, formerly known as Wydad Casablanca, winning by 3-1 away from home. But the latest about it is that CAF has finally given hosting bid or rights rather to the final, and the venue will be it has been given to Morocco. The venue will be the Mohammed V Stadium, and that is a controversial one. Al Ahly wrote to CAF just before the announcement yesterday, asking that Morocco shouldn't be awarded that because Wydad AC, Wydad Athletic Club, is from Morocco. In fact, they play at the Mohammed V Stadium. But this is what it is. That stadium hosted the last final, which Al Ahly won. Al Ahly are gone in for their third, CAF Champions League final in terms of, successive appearances. Wydad is in the mix. It's obvious from look of things. Except we have a monumental collapse, we'll have Al Ahly against Wydad Casablanca in the finals. So do you think it's the right decision?
Of course, if you are to be on the Al Ahly side, you will be saying that at this stage like this, while will the CAF now decide to say, okay, we are going to host this competition where a Moroccan team is featuring in the semi-final and have the opportunity to be in the finals. And so if they should be in the finals, they have an home advantage against the Al team. But of course, you cannot take it out from the CAF team for them to have decided to give it to the to give it to Morocco to host the final. The final. So it's not. I believe in the potency of the Al Ahly team, who are always ready to do the best in whichever venue they find themselves. Yes. So it shouldn't be an issue. But of course, they needed to react to it so that they will know that. Make CAF understand that this is a psychological disadvantage to them.
Okay, let's see how it is. The excuse given by CAF is that there were just two federations bidding, the Senegalese and the Moroccans, and the Senegalese federation pulled out their bid at the last minute. So having withdrawn, they were left with only Morocco, and that's why Morocco won the bid. Remember, you had the Uyo Stadium also being penned down as a possible venue for the final. In fact, CAF inspectors were down at Uyo to inspect the stadium, but apparently it did not win their approval. Well, quickly, let's delve into the shores of Europe, even as we hit home stretch due to time constraints. Roma were in action yesterday. Fiorentina won 2-0. But the good news for Roma is they're now locked in a three-way battle for, the title. 59 points Roma, 59 points Fiorentina, Atalanta 59 points. With 2 games left, it's like there's all to play for.
It's going to be to the last match of the season for the Italian league to decide who is going to win the Italian Serie A, and at the same time, people that are going to qualify for the Champions League. So it's going to be for Europe and the entirety of Europe competition. So it's going to be an exciting end of the season for the Italian Serie A.
Okay, quickly, let's talk about Liverpool before we leave, and that's the Premier League. Aston Villa against Liverpool tonight. For Liverpool, they've slopped or stumbled when it comes to a title pursuit, but they can't afford to do that again. It's their former icon, their loved, well-beloved son, who is, at Aston Villa. What do you expect from tonight's game?
It's going to be a difficult encounter for the Liverpool team. Of course, Aston Villa will want to do the best to at least get the positive result they needed against that Liverpool team. And as you will see the two teams coming after each other. I want to give it to Liverpool to have a win at that match.
Okay, let's see how Jurgen Klopp and his men are able to rally themselves and see if they can just make Liverpool and Manchester City and Pep Guardiola slip up in the title race. Although right now the momentum is with City, who are 3 points clear and also 4 goals clear when it comes to the race. That's how much time can permit. Their basketball playoffs are quite all right, but we'll bring you highlights of that tomorrow as well as other news. Thank you so much, Ojokade, for your time on the show.
It's a pleasure, Samson. Thank you so much, viewers.
Thanks to the production crew. Thanks to you out there for making it happen. You guys are indeed the arena, as I say oftentimes. I'm Samson Olede. Until the show comes your way tomorrow, do enjoy the very best of Liverpool against Aston Villa at Villa Park.